The greatest danger to your growth isn't the enemy you can see. It's not the critic who openly attacks you. The most insidious threat is the friend who offers you a comforting hand when what you truly need is a challenge. This is a paradox most men will never understand. They seek comfort, they seek validation, they seek support, but they rarely ask if that support is making them stronger or just more comfortable in their weakness. In this video, we are going to expose the silent damage of the so-called supportive friend. We will uncover the Stoic red flags that signal your environment is poisoning your potential. This isn't common knowledge. This is a framework for emotional and intellectual superiority, understood only by those who are serious about their own ascent. Before we begin, I want you to ask yourself a question and answer it with brutal honesty in the comments. Have you ever walked away from a conversation with a supportive friend feeling weaker? We live in an age of validation. Our culture celebrates unconditional support. I'm here for you no matter what. You're perfect just the way you are. These phrases sound benevolent, but for a man on a path of purpose, they can be a death sentence. Think of your ambition as a fire. True Stoic friendship is the blacksmith's bellows. It blasts the fire with air, making it hotter, stronger, more intense. It forges steel. But the modern concept of support is often a wet blanket. It smothers the flames with sympathy and comfort, reducing a roaring inferno to a pile of smouldering embers. This creates a generation of emotionally fragile men who are terrified of criticism, men who crumble at the first sign of adversity because their support system has trained them to expect comfort, not to build resilience. The Stoic path is different. It is the conscious decision to choose the difficult road. It is the understanding that a true brother-in-arms isn't the one who tells you it's okay to stay in the trench. It's the one who tells you to get up, because the battle isn't over. This is the mindset we will cultivate today. First, we must address the most common and seductive form of sabotage. Red flag number 1, the enabler of your vices. This is the friend who celebrates your weaknesses under the guise of camaraderie. He's the one who says, "You've had a tough week, you deserve to get drunk." He's the one who encourages you to skip the gym because one day off won't hurt. He frames your self-destructive habits as justified rewards. In his presence, your discipline dissolves. He makes your weakness feel normal, even celebrated. This is not friendship. This is a conspiracy against your future self. He is not supporting you. He is recruiting you to stay at his level. A man on the path of growth understands this immediately. He sees the invitation to indulge not as a kindness, but as a test of his resolve. The average man falls for it every time. The silent damage here is insidious. Every time you accept the enabler's invitation, you reinforce a negative feedback loop. You teach your brain that the correct response to stress is indulgence, not discipline. You lower your own standards to match his. Over time, what was once a small compromise becomes a deeply ingrained habit. Your tough week becomes a tough month, then a tough year. You stagnate. He remains your companion in mediocrity, always ready with an excuse for you both. A Stoic, however, seeks the opposite. He seeks a friend who says, "You've had a tough week. Let's go to the gym and burn it off." He seeks a friend who holds him to a higher standard, especially when he feels weak. This is the fundamental difference between a crutch and a training partner. One supports your weakness, the other builds your strength. Let's move to the second, more subtle danger. Red flag number 2, the sympathy merchant. This friend thrives on your problems. When you face a setback, they don't offer solutions or perspective. They offer a deep well of pity. They say, "That's so unfair," or "You have every right to be angry." They validate your sense of victimhood. It feels good. It feels like they understand. But what they are actually doing is encouraging you to marinate in your own powerlessness. They are trading your agency for a moment of emotional connection. They are subtly teaching you that the most valuable thing you can offer them is your struggle. This is a toxic, codependent dynamic. It keeps you stuck because your story of suffering becomes the basis of your bond. Think of it like this. A true ally is like a medic on the battlefield. They see your wound, they acknowledge the pain, and then they immediately get to work on fixing it. They apply pressure, they bandage it, they tell you to get up. The sympathy merchant, by contrast, is a person who sees your wound and just sits beside you saying, "Wow, that looks like it really hurts. Let's talk about how much it hurts." The conversation becomes about the pain, not the recovery. The Stoic understands that what we focus on expands. If you focus on the injustice and the pain, you will only create more of it. A strong man does not seek a friend who will co-sign his complaints. He seeks a friend who will hand him a shovel and help him dig his way out of the problem. This leads us to the third and perhaps most well-intentioned saboteur. Red flag number 3, the comfort zone guardian. This is the friend who loves you, who genuinely cares about your well-being, but is terrified of seeing you take risks. When you talk about starting a new business, changing careers, or taking on a difficult challenge, their immediate response is one of caution and concern. Are you sure about that? That sounds really risky. What if you fail? They frame their fear as a form of protection. They are trying to shield you from potential pain. But what they are actually doing is projecting their own limitations and anxieties onto you. They are building a cage of comfort around you and calling it safety. The silent damage of the guardian is profound. They infect you with their own fear of failure. They cause you to second-guess your own ambition. They make the known, comfortable world seem far more appealing than the unknown territory of growth. A man who listens to the comfort zone guardian will live a small life. He will never know his true potential because he was too afraid to risk what was safe. The Stoic mindset provides the antidote. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. A Stoic seeks friends who understand this principle. He needs allies who, upon hearing of his ambition, do not ask, "What if you fail?" but "How can I help you succeed?" They see the obstacle not as a barrier, but as the path itself. Now we encounter a red flag that is often mistaken for loyalty. Red flag number 4. The echo chamber. This is the friend who agrees with everything you say. He never challenges your opinions. He never offers a dissenting perspective. He mirrors your own thoughts back to you, creating a frictionless relationship. This feels easy, it feels harmonious, it makes you feel intelligent and validated, but it is an intellectual dead end. You are not being sharpened, you are being placated. A man who surrounds himself with echo chambers becomes intellectually soft. His ideas are never tested, his beliefs are never questioned, and his blind spots are never revealed. Imagine a swordsman who only ever trains against a dummy that doesn't fight back. He may develop flawless technique, but he will be utterly unprepared for a real duel. The echo chamber is that training dummy. A true, valuable friend is a sparring partner. They respect you enough to challenge you. They care about your growth enough to point out flaws in your logic. The ancient Stoics knew the value of this. They would actively debate and critique each other's ideas to refine them. They understood that intellectual iron sharpens intellectual iron. While the average man seeks affirmation, the superior man seeks refinement. He doesn't want friends who tell him he's right. He wants friends who will help him find what is right. The 5th red flag is the most duplicitous. Red flag number 5, the passive-aggressive competitor. This individual masquerades as your biggest supporter, but their words are laced with subtle poison. They offer compliments that are actually insults. For example, when you achieve something, they might say, "Wow, I'm so surprised you pulled that off," or "It's amazing what you can do when you finally apply yourself." On the surface, it sounds like praise, but the subtext is a clear jab at your perceived past failures or lack of ability. Their support is a performance. Underneath, they are deeply insecure and see your success as a threat to their own status. This form of interaction inflicts silent psychological damage. It plants seeds of doubt. It makes you feel that your achievements are flukes, not the result of your hard work. It creates an environment where you become hesitant to share your victories for fear of receiving a backhanded compliment. This is a quiet war of attrition against your self-esteem. A Stoic practices what is called prosouche, a state of continuous, vigilant attention. This attention is not just directed outward at the world, but inward at one's own judgments, and also at the nature of one's relationships. A man with this level of perception can detect the subtle dissonance in the competitor's words. He recognizes that true support is clean, direct, and unambiguous. It doesn't come with hidden clauses or subtle insults. Let's synthesize these ideas. The common thread among all these supportive yet damaging friends is that they prioritize your immediate comfort over your long-term growth. The enabler offers the comfort of indulgence. The sympathy merchant offers the comfort of victimhood. The guardian offers the comfort of safety. The echo chamber offers the comfort of validation. And the competitor offers the false comfort of praise while trying to keep you down. They are all, in their own way, contributing to a weaker, less resilient version of you. They are peddlers of emotional Novocaine. It numbs the immediate pain of effort and discipline, but it ensures the underlying problem never heals, and in fact, gets worse. So, what is the Stoic alternative? It is not to become a lone wolf, isolated from all human connection. That is a misunderstanding. The Stoics valued friendship deeply. However, they defined it differently. Seneca wrote that a true friend is a second self. This means you should choose your friends with the same care and high standards with which you cultivate your own character. A true friend is a partner in the pursuit of virtue. Their primary function is not to make you feel good, but to help you be good. This is a radical reframing of friendship that separates the boy from the man. The Stoic model of friendship is built on two pillars: shared virtue and mutual accountability. Shared virtue means you are both committed to the same upward path, to becoming stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. Your goals are aligned. You are not pulling each other in different directions. Mutual accountability means you grant each other the permission to be ruthless in the service of growth. Your friend has a duty to call you out when you are slacking, and you have the same duty to them. This is not about judgment. It is about a shared commitment to a higher standard. It's a bond forged in the fires of discipline, not in the comfortable shade of mediocrity. How do you begin to cultivate this kind of circle? It starts with a ruthless audit of your existing relationships. You must become an unemotional observer of the dynamics at play. When you spend time with a friend, observe how you feel afterward. Do you feel more energized, more focused, more capable? Or do you feel drained, distracted, and complacent? Your emotional state is a powerful diagnostic tool. You must be willing to accept the data, even if it is uncomfortable. You must be willing to admit that someone you care about may be a net negative in your life's ledger. This audit requires courage. It is far easier to maintain the status quo. It is easier to tolerate the enabler's invitations and the sympathy merchant's pity. Creating distance can be painful, but you must ask yourself a hard question. Am I willing to sacrifice my ultimate potential for the sake of someone else's comfort or my own? Am I willing to trade my future self for my current social circle? The Stoic answer is a resounding no. Your primary duty, according to Epictetus, is to the ruling faculty of your mind. You are the CEO of your life, and you must make the difficult personnel decisions required to ensure the success of the enterprise. Once you have identified the red flags, the action required is not necessarily dramatic confrontation. Often, it is a quiet and deliberate reallocation of your most valuable resource, your time and attention. You simply give less energy to the relationships that drain you and more to those that build you. You become unavailable for the late-night drinking sessions with the enabler. You change the subject when the sympathy merchant tries to pull you into a complaint fest. You thank the guardian for their concern, and then you take the risk anyway. You actively seek out conversations with people who challenge you, even if it's uncomfortable. This is a gradual, strategic restructuring of your world. You will likely face resistance. People who are comfortable with the old version of you will not be pleased with the new one. The enabler will feel judged. The sympathy merchant will feel abandoned. The guardian will feel ignored. They may accuse you of changing, of thinking you are better than them. And in a way, they are right. You are trying to become better than you were yesterday. This is the price of growth. The man who is unwilling to be misunderstood in the short term will never achieve anything significant in the long term. You must be willing to let their opinions be their problem, not yours. As you create this space in your life, you open the door for true allies to enter. Strong, ambitious, disciplined people are not drawn to mediocrity. They are drawn to other strong, ambitious, disciplined people. By raising your own standards, you become a beacon for the very individuals you want to attract. Your commitment to self-mastery becomes a filter, repelling those who would hold you back and attracting those who will help you advance. This is how you build a circle not based on shared history or convenience, but on a shared vision for the future. Remember the metaphor of the blacksmith's forge. Your life, your character, is the piece of steel being shaped. Every interaction, every relationship is a strike of the hammer. The supportive friends we've discussed are like tapping the steel with a soft rubber mallet. It makes a comforting sound, but it does nothing to shape or strengthen the metal. A true Stoic ally is a well-aimed blow from a heavy sledgehammer. It is loud, it is jarring, it sends sparks flying, but it is what forges the raw iron into a sharp, resilient, and unbreakable blade. You must learn to not only withstand these blows, but to seek them out. Ultimately, this entire process is an exercise in self-reliance. The final arbiter of your life is you. While the right friends can be a powerful force multiplier, the wrong friends are only a problem if you grant them power over you. The Stoic path is about building an internal locus of control. It is about developing a mindset so resilient, a character so strong, that you can thrive in any environment. The goal is not to create a perfect, sterile bubble of high performers around you. The goal is to become the man who can maintain his frame, his discipline, and his purpose, no matter who is in the room. Your circle is important, but your spine is essential. The core truth is this: true friendship in the Stoic sense is not a pact for mutual comfort. It is a partnership for mutual ascent. It is a shared commitment to facing reality, embracing challenge, and forging virtue out of the raw material of our lives. Your most important takeaway from our time together today should be this: your inner circle is your destiny. You must audit it with the ruthless honesty of a wartime general. You must choose challenge over comfort, accountability over validation, and growth over stagnation. This is not easy. It will require you to make difficult choices, but it is the only path to true strength and freedom. You are the architect of your own soul. Do not let others hand you flawed blueprints. Seize control, raise your standards, and build a life of purpose and resilience. Thank you for investing your most valuable asset, your time, with me today. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and join a community of men dedicated to the pursuit of strength. Now, for the final question, I want you to reflect and then comment below. What is the single most difficult change you will make to your inner circle after watching this?